Okay, Jeremy, Quinn, hi.
Well, hi. I'm just I'm so honored to be your first guest of the year, and thank you so much for having me. And thank you all for being here. Like I was just scrolling through and like seeing like friends that I haven't seen since Wisconsin days, and like it's just been so lovely, and been folks that I've met at cons and friends that I have online, and we haven't yet to meet, but we will someday. We will all be together and hug, and friends in France, and it's just really lovely. So thank you. And Jade, thank you also for um you know, for the reminder that we hold both. We hold the joy and we hold the rage and we hold the devastation and heartbreak, and we also fill our cups. It's so necessary to find joy in these days, because then we can't show up for our community and show up for each other, if we're not taking care of ourselves and also finding happiness, because that's the only thing that's going to get us through this hellscape that we are living in, globally, and you know, in America too. So, but
Yeah.
yes, anyone can call me anything. I don't get on Zoom very often. I'm like Mima over here. So I don't know. It just was like that was my name. I forgot to
Do
change
you
it.
want me to change it?
Can you? Do you have
Yeah, I
Mhm.
can.
wizard? Yes, change it. And then I'm she her. So I was like, oops, no pronouns either. But you all know me as both names. It's not really much of a secret. So you can call me whatever you want or whatever is easiest for your
There
brain.
you go.
Oh, look at me. I'm official. Thank you, Kaz. You're the best. Meanwhile, I'm
Okay.
like, I don't know how to do all this. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, go
No,
for
I
it.
just want to do the little giveaway thing because you've
Oh,
graciously
yeah.
said that you would give away an audio code of one of your books, which are a lot, many.
Yes.
Anyone who wins this will just have a pick, I think, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love to, I mean, if it's an Audible exclusive, we'll do Audible and I'll send you a gifted copy. I also love to support and shout out, if it is available to you, Libro FM, because you can choose a bookstore to, like a local bookstore to support. They do a lot of giving back, but not every title is available on Libro, unfortunately, but they're an awesome company. So whichever one. If it's
Wait,
Audible exclusive, it'll be gifted through Audible, and if it's available through Libro, I will gift it to you through Libro if that's okay, and then support a queer bookstore down in Florida who was ravaged by the hurricane. So you get to also choose if you want to sign up for a membership, choose which bookstore you support. So it's
that's
an
awesome.
awesome organization. Yeah.
Okay, so in any case, it's going to be a good win.
Yes, I
And
hope.
and the only thing that we ask for of people, we had 82 people sign up, which is a lot for our events. So we're gonna have everyone pick a number, 0 to 82, and I have this magic little note. So anywhere between 0 and 82, you can send your number to Jess, one of our co-hosts, and she's gonna see who came closest to my magic number. Okay, and at the end we will reveal
Yay.
who
And
won
all you have
that code.
to do is just be comfortable sharing your email with me, which I will not send to anyone else. I will protect it with my life. So, but yeah, I'll
Yeah,
email your gift book.
that's great. Okay. Jade, you want to kick off with a question?
Well, I was going to go back to the name thing. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like I have seen you kind of equally in different places as Quinn and Jeremy. And I'm actually not sure if you've done narrations as both or if you only do narrations as Quinn. And if you have a preference for one or the other in different settings, and just was hoping you'd give us a little more detail on that.
For sure, yeah. So my government name is Jeremy Carlisle Parker. And that's like my actor name through SAG-AFTRA. And um when I got a little, just a little book that some might know as like the MILF book by Meryl Wilsner, Mistakes Were Made, which was my first Sapphic book, which I had been wanting
Wow.
to do. I mean, as a gay lady myself, I was like, I would like to do more Sapphic work, but we have so many incredible narrators, who are legends who narrate Sapphic work. And so it takes a bit to kind of get your footing. And so that one, I auditioned for it. I found out that I was going to be voicing Cassie, and I was working with, it was very early, very, very early in my career. I don't even know that I had like 15 books at that point. And I was working with a mentor who I trusted dearly, who is also a director for like PRH and Macmillan Audio. And I was like, yeah, this book just feels like such a big deal. It feels like it's gonna get like it's gonna blow up, and I really want it. I had established Quinn as a romance pseudonym. A lot of narrators do,
Mhm.
um, specifically because I have a great passion for stories for young readers. So I do a lot of middle grade. I do a lot of YA. I mean, less so now. It's mostly sapphic romance exclusively. Like, thanks, Quinn. You're cooler than I am. But I I talked to my mentor and I was like, I really want this to be a Jeremy book. And she was like, with as much as you love and are well suited for books for young audiences, you have to think about optics. No one in the industry is ever going to, like, your producers, the people that are casting are not going to care about what books you put under what name, but the authors might. So, you just never know when you are up for, like, I narrated a really incredible book called Miracle Season. It's not queer, but it's about a young, like 12-year-old girl whose brother is in a coma, and she is trying to win money, like enter this contest to win money to pay for his medical expenses. And it's magical and tender and heartfelt. And you just never know when that author's looking, when you're in the audition process and the author is looking at the Audible catalog and they're like, I don't know if I want my sweet little middle grade book next to the MILF book. I don't know about her. So my mentor had suggested, and strongly suggested, that I, try to keep some separation between the two names. And so then, Quinn started to get some traction. At this point, like, oh, gosh, I am insufferable. It's kind of become a brand. So like for example, I just got a series that I will be doing in the spring, and it'll be my first duet. So I will be voicing all of the femme presenting characters, and I have a co-narrator who will be doing all the male presenting characters. And I was like, yeah, that's not, I mean, this female main character is going to be falling in love with a cis man. So like, you don't get Quinn, like, because I don't want readers to be like, oh, it's Sapphic. I trust Quinn to be Sapphic. And so I'm going to auto buy this or whatever. And so I have a super secret pseudo that I will never tell anyone about. Um, but yeah, I just, because Quinn is so known and synonymous for sapphic romance and sapphic books, I just want to make sure that to honor my readers and make sure that they can trust that name, to try to keep things super separate. Jeremy does more horror now, so, which I love, and still, books for young audiences. But a lot of times authors will also just say, oh, I want this under Jeremy, or I want this under Quinn. So yeah, I don't really feel any type of way about it. You can call me either. And then there was some conflama in the romance community with a male narrator, and so I was kind of on the outside watching in my little circle of sapphic goodness, which I was like, ew, gross, weird. And a lot of narrators started disclosing like both of their names, like, hey, here's my pseudonym, this is my pseudonym, here's my government name, you can look for me under both, just as a level of transparency, for readers, and to kind of show that we're like not hiding behind a name or something like that. Although folks have the pseudo for different reasons. Like, some people are, on the school board, or some narrators are part of the PTA and they don't want their community to know that they narrate some explicit content. But for me, I'm just like, either one is good for me. Whatever works for y'all.
I have a couple of questions that I've been
Go.
sent here. So I like this one. It's kind of vague, but what's something about being a narrator that most people wouldn't know or think about?
Um, it's it's very sweaty. It's very sweaty. It's very hot work. We're all recording the Christmas romances in the dead of summer, and we are dying. Usually in minimal clothing. It is like literally a sauna. So it's really uncomfortable, and I'm a very sweaty person. If anyone has seen me dancing at the Goldies, you know. So it's like Swamp Beast from hell. So that I do hate, where I'm like, Burr, I'm so cold. It's so wintry, and I'm freezing, where I'm like literally melting. It's also very lonely. A lot of us are actors, not all of us are, but a lot of us are, and most of us come from like the world of stage acting, and so it can be really strange. It's lovely because you get so much control over what you're doing and the journey that you're taking, and you really get to craft like a very, very long multi-hour experience, right? But then you finish and then you're like, well, I hope you like it. Like you kind of create in a vacuum. And so we are little egotistical goblins. We do have feelings, and we are soft-hearted little creatures. And so then you're like, well, I had so many emotions and I loved that journey, but I don't know. Now it's done. And I guess I'm going to go eat some cheese and crackers now. And maybe it comes out, which who knows when, maybe people will like it, and hopefully they will. We don't often work together, like even if it is duet and we're voicing like a specific gender of characters or a specific number of characters, we're all doing that in isolation, usually in our own booths. And so it can be very strange. And we also don't get to interact with you. Like we don't get the automatic fix of like joy, or this is working or this is not working. Like a live audience where people are clapping, or I've done melodrama, like old school melodrama, where they'll like boo you and throw stuff at you in a casino town in Colorado. And like, that was wild. But also I was like, all right, lesson learned. You hated that.
Yeah.
Okay. Pivot into something else. So yeah, so it's,
but can you then listen? What?
I just said there's no immediate feedback, like with an audience.
Oh, no. So it's you know, and then you do get, I mean, obviously we get feedback and reviews and stuff, and reviews are not for us. They are for other readers or people who are looking to find work that will speak to them. I stand 10 toes down on that. They are not for us, but I do read them because, not all of them, but you know, if an accent is tough or not well executed and that keeps coming back up, or there can be things in there that I'm like, oh, I probably need to maybe think about this or work on this or keep this in the back of my mind. If there's something that keeps coming up over and over again, because we also very often don't have directors. And when we do have directors, they usually don't say much. They're just like, that was good. They'll just like pop in and be like, oh, you said that word wrong. Or, the line is this. But most of them just kind of let us, when we are able to work with directors, they kind of just let us ride.
Can you then stop and listen to your own recording, and like feedback yourself? Like do like Jeremy feedbacking Quinn and the other way around? They have a little bit of a
Yeah. So for my style of recording, and all my home records, it's what's called punch and roll. So I have to be self-monitoring and making sure that I'm, hopefully word perfect. I never am. But there's a lot of re-listening, not big chunks, because then that would take me ages. I am really trying to like let go more, because usually my first instinct is what is right. Sometimes that's not the case, but most often I'm like, I'll like do a line and redo it like 5 times and be like, girl. And then I'll just like undo. And I was like, yeah, the first one was the best. Like the first one was the most authentic. I wasn't overthinking it and trying to like make it into something. But yeah, so with punch and roll, we have to stop if we mess up. and then take our audio marker and go over to our last, like, not messed up part, and then record over that. And so yeah, so that's when we're home alone in our booths. Most audio producers, almost all, require a punch and roll style audio so that it is as close to what it will be, minus like the misreads and stuff like that, as close as it will be to the final product. And it makes the editors and engineers' jobs a lot easier.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned something about most narrators are actors, and I've talked to a couple people about this, but I'm curious your thoughts. Do you think there's a difference between a voice actor and a narrator? Are some people both? Are some people more one or the other? Like, is there a difference in style, training, expectations that somebody can have?
Yeah, so I kind of think that they're synonymous. Like, I think all, I mean, that's my personal opinion. I think narrators are voice actors. I don't necessarily, at least for, okay, caveat. I think narrators are voice actors. I don't know that all voice actors would want to do narration or can do it well. Long form is very hard. I sucked. Please don't listen to early books that I did. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. But it takes a while to like find your sweet spot. And I've talked about this like before with friends, but I really feel like I kind of found my lane really in like the last 12 to 18 months, honestly. And I want to continue to like get to improve and get better. But it took me a month to record my first book that ended up only being like 13 hours. And it was awful. It was an awful experience. And I was like, I'm really bad at this. Like, this is terrible. I don't know if I like this. I don't think I'm good at this. I do think that like commercial voice actors, like the ones that we're thinking like that are doing animation and doing these like really vibrant and super cool characters, I do think that it's absolutely in their wheelhouse to be narrators and do long form if they want. But I also feel like in terms of character voices, we do have to make them listenable. We can't necessarily like do an entire like MC is like this because who's gonna want to listen to this for 8 hours? Like, it works for like, I think middle grade I can swing bigger and paint with like super big brush strokes because those kids are like 12 and most of them are going through puberty, so their voices are cracking anyway. But I do think that I admire and would love to work in animation. It's super hard to get that work. But you also have to be kind of mindful of your listener when you're picking your character voices, especially in romance. Shout out to my dear friend Lindsay Dorcas, who told me, "Girl, assume everyone is hot. Everyone is hot. Those who know about my goblin voice." I worked with someone who made the male MC sound like this, and he got a whole book for book 3. So this is supposed to be and I was like, oh my God. Oh my, like, no shade. No, like, love that man, love him. New to romance, just hadn't learned the rule. Like, everybody is hot. Even the crazy, like, Aunt Doris you don't know if she's going to get a book at like book 15 or 16 down the line. And, maybe we can't make her sound like this because if we get into a romantic scene, that's going to be crazy. So,
Although I'd like to hear that, just have the experience.
He's like, oh yes, please touch me.
Oh yes, there.
I was breathless with need and want in my ardent. It's just justice for Aunt Doris, honestly.
That's a goalie right there.
Hey, I know how we're gonna advertise this one, guys. Like, just
yeah, this is the quote.
Aunt Doris. But yeah, I think we do. Audiobook narrators are kind of like a weird cousin from down the road, in SAG-AFTRA and in like the audio sphere. Like, we're not really, it's not that we're not respected, but they're like, oh, you and your little books, like, I was in Rugrats reimagined or whatever, or like I'm a voice on The Simpsons, you know. But I don't know. For me, I think it's synonymous. We are voice actors. We're storytellers. We are playing all the parts. So and hopefully well. And it requires a tremendous amount of skill. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. That was a long way around to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think we all appreciate your work. So
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you all for listening. That means I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if you didn't. So thank you.
Clara has another question about your preparation. Do you read the full book before you start recording, and then
Yeah.
make sure that you know if you pick a voice that you can do it for the whole book?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's super imperative. I mean, some people use preppers too, and that is fantastic. They'll take all of the notes and do summaries and highlight anything that needs clarified with the author, like pronunciation wise. Um, I am a freak and a control freak too. And so I'm like, oh, I don't trust anyone to do a good job. So I'll do it myself. But yes, yeah, because there is nothing like getting to the end of a book, especially like in thriller or, a murder mystery or whatever, where you're like, oh, this person had an accent the whole time. Great.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
that's horror. Oh geez, yeah.
Can't wait to do all this again. So yeah, I think it's even if it is just like a quick like skim to see what we're working with. It's super important to know what you're getting into. And I personally, my anxiety cannot handle like not knowing and then getting to the end and being like, great, what do I do now? So yeah, so I always do a prep read of whatever I'm recording.
Michelle says we know that some books have to be re-recorded because of rights that expire. Is there like
Yeah.
a Sapphic book you've recorded that you would love to record again? And if so, what would you change about your performance?
Oh, I actually, this might be shocking, but I would love to re-record Mistakes Were Made. Um, yeah. It's, I just think I think I could do Cassie even more. I was just so early in my journey. And so I also am one that's like every iteration of me has value and I want to respect like where I was at that point and I honor her and I love her. I am a better narrator now. So I would love to take another crack at Mistakes Were Made. Because I think I get Cassie like even more than I did before. So yeah, that's one. I don't know. I mean, usually rights will turn over every 7 years, I think is the number. So yeah, I would love to take another crack at her someday.
I've got a whole bunch of questions.
do it.
That's what I'm here for.
Right, okay. So, hang on, I've lost it again. Um, she said, as they do this. Um, okay, so you mentioned about how you have done like the voice acting and the narration. Have you ever worked with a dialect coach before in general or for a specific book?
Yes. And shout out to my dialect coach because she built Joey Taylor. So yes, I often, if there is time and if there is time, I always try to coach with someone. If it's an accent that just doesn't feel like it's in my wheelhouse or I need a little bit more polish. I love my coach. Shout out to Amanda Quaid. She's a genius, brilliant human, wonderful teacher. I am a trained singer, and so she just like gets my brain. She approaches accents as a posture rather than like, oh, in a RP accent, it's like, oh, and we need to drop the R's. And, she just she just gets my brain. And so she's like, if you find the posture of an accent, then it's more sustainable and you're not micromanaging. You can flow more easily and find character without having to micromanage like sound substitutions from my natural accent to this accent that I'm trying to replicate or make sound authentic. I worked with her a lot last year because last year was my year of like all the lesbians were traveling. They were playing tennis across every country, and then they were doing the Camino, and then they were in Spain, and then I had to do a Croatian accent, which was wild because my coach was like, I have never coached a Croatian accent. That's wow, okay. But yeah, if a lot of times, unfortunately, and we don't always have time. Like a dear, again, shout out to Lindsay Dorcas. I adore her, and she's an incredible narrator. And we were just yapping last night about she got a Rush project, and again, the lesbians are playing tennis internationally, and so she has to, one of the main characters is from Spain, and so they need the book recorded and all the files to them like in less than 2 weeks. And so she was like, girl, like, I don't know, like there's not enough there. The window is so, and that is also like deliver your files in 2 weeks, but we also have to read the book and prep the book and ask about pronunciations and then ask about specific accents. And so sometimes there just isn't time to work with a coach, but whenever possible, because it's just, again, like helps my brain to like build an accent with someone. So yeah, my accent coach is like solely responsible for building and creating Joey Taylor. I don't even know if I could do that accent again. Like, I don't know where she came from. I don't know. She like entered the booth with me and was like yelling at me. And I was like, cool, I love you. So yeah, I do think that they are invaluable. But another thing is like, we pay for it. Like that's not covered by our producer. That's not covered by whoever is responsible for distributing the audio. That is at our cost. So it can also be, if work is slow and, it can also be a very difficult to afford luxury for some. So yeah.
So do you then have like a project and you finish like the whole thing, or can you like prep one book and record another book and have like 800,000 characters in your head at the same time?
I usually, the schedule is so unhinged that yes, I am recording multiple things at a time. I don't love that. But I am so full and like so fortunate to say that I am. I mean, that is truly a gift. I mean, this is the first time in my life that I have felt like stable in my creative career. I get to call myself an actor every single day of my life. I get to also I have the community that I dreamed about having. I get to know all of you, which is so, sorry, I will not cry. I will not cry. Is really special and means so much to me. But yeah, I'm often working on multiple things at one time. What keeps me on track is I keep very extensive character reference files so that I can just find them again. So they're just short little sentences or moments or interactions where I will pick up from the audio, throw into a file for that project. So I can be like, oh, where is this person? Okay, there she is. Okay. And then I'll take a moment and be like, oh, I found her. So yeah, that keeps me on track and consistent.
But you'll have to switch in record if you have two people chatting in a chapter. Then you have to go switch from English to I don't know, Croatian.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, how how do you do that?
It gets easier. I will say, I feel like my tempo is a lot better now. I can make the switch. I can execute the switches a lot faster than I could early in my career. And I think so much of good dialogue is tempo driven. You just want that snap. Again, that's me, the music nerd in me as well. I mean, I think also just good storytelling is tempo driven as well. So that I kind of think of the arc of the entire story as like a symphony where we have different movements and each one has a different sort of atmosphere or feeling or color, and then within that we have scenes that are driven by slowness or introspection or fiery rage and banter. For me, it's like I just need to put them somewhere physically in my body. So it can be like in order to find them quickly. So it can be like with Joey, it was like a tilt up of the head. Like she was always like cocking her head to the side and looking down, not looking down her nose, because that's a different kind of characterization, but it was like a kind of like, come at me, bruh. To like find her quickly, especially in those like, I mean, I feel like those fight scenes were like so deliciously written. Allie North, the woman that you are, and they had to be fast, or they lost or they got they got like flaccid, and so it's for me now in my narration journey, I can find someone pretty quickly if I have like a gesture or a body, like a shift in and it has to be kind of subtle because those damn mics like pick up so much. Like you move your arm and you hear a swish or whatever. I'm like, I talk about this with JJ all the time. I've sent her a clip of this where I like move my toe in my shoe and you can hear it. And I'm like, or your stomach. Oh my God, my stomach is I hate my stomach. Because it's just so loud. It's like I have something to say now too. But yeah, it has to be quiet and a little subtle, but usually if I can find a physical anchor for them, then it helps me make those transitions faster. But it just takes, I mean, Kaz, you can do it. It just takes practice.
In Dutch, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, in Dutch. There is a need. We need you.
Yeah, but in Dutch, I mean, if you have narrations in Dutch, they don't do the characters as they do in American or English voiced
Interesting.
books. That's more like someone reading a book to you than like acting it out. I think maybe I don't know, there's a thing.
Well, I mean, I definitely, and it's driven by you all. It's driven by readers.
Yeah.
I think there was a shift in the industry because I've been narrating now for like 5 years, and I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 years full time. But when I entered the industry, it was a pandemic pivot. It's like typical actor working on the Upper West Side, going to auditions for musicals. Everything shut down, lost my job. Had a friend who did this. Love her, Jennifer Gillaraya. She's incredible. Who mentored me. We went to school. We went to conservatory together, actually. But there was like a big shift. I mean, I entered the industry when producers were prioritizing authentic casting to kind of right some of the injustices in the world of audio, wanting to make sure that people who had lived experience were able to tell the stories of their lived experience. So I was very lucky in that way. But there really has been, like, in the last like 7-8 years, a big shift from like, oh, I'm just telling you the story to like, oh, we are giving you an immersive audio experience.
Right.
It's readership driven. I mean, that is what you all want. And I do get a couple of reviews sometimes, which I love. They're like, I just wanted her to read me the story. It was too dramatic. And I'm like, ma'am, we are in a haunted campground where people are being murdered. So there's nothing really about this.
There's no subtlety anywhere in this book.
Oh, no. They're like ancient beings from like all over. It runs the gamut. Like some are Greek, some are Nordic. And I'm like, yeah, a man was disemboweled and hung from a tree. I don't really think that we can be like, well, there he is, like.
Look at that, ding dong, there he hangs.
Yes, I think that's a character choice for sure.
Yeah.
It's not this character's choice. So yeah, it's definitely, I think, reader driven. I mean, audiobooks are exploding and they will continue. They're just such a huge part of our reading, especially I think in the States, because we are just crumbling under a capitalist system that doesn't allow us time for pleasure or joy or physical reading. So audiobooks are often the only way that people are able to find time to read. So yeah, and there's a reason why you also see these like re-releases of things, with like it's a multicast like audio on almost like an audio play with sound effects and things like that. It's very expensive to produce. But yeah, but it's interesting to me that yours are more like what I would call like the old school style of narration, which is,
right.
You just tell the story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's boring. That's why I listen to you. Jamie?
Yeah, I had a couple of questions.
Go for it. I'll
Hi,
shut up
Quinn.
now.
Good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
Really good to see you and have you here. One of the questions that seemed to be asked multiple times is, how do you choose the books that you want to narrate? And is there a genre that you prefer? I know you mentioned horror, Sapphic and horror, but is there a genre you prefer? And how many audiobooks per year? That's a multifaceted question.
Yes.
On average.
Okay. I love this question or these questions. So actually I don't choose anything that I narrate. It's usually, I get to say yes to things, but I usually, I'll get offers or get auditions from producers. And that's how I will get the books that do come into my life. We are always given, we can either accept or not, there are a few times, I try to keep this super limited because I think it can be kind of, I don't want to be perceived as like pushy or grabby or anything, but sometimes I will hunt stuff. Like I usually try to keep my asks like quite minimal, maybe 3 to 4 a year, where I will see something that's publishing, in several months, and I'll be like, oh, I love that author, or I've recorded work for them before, and I'll reach out to the producer and ask if I might be considered for an audition. But more often than not, I just am living my life like recording, and then something will come through. Like I had known about, like, for example, because I'm still obsessed and will remain obsessed with Ruby Lander's Grace Notes series and also the Bloomtown series. Those were 1,000% on my radar. I knew about them. Everybody was talking about both of them, and I was like, oh my God, like I would love to, but I don't know. And then, the offers did end up coming through just purely by chance. And so, Ruby, especially, I'm not really sure like how she knew of me. But yeah, that offer came through, and I was so delighted and honored to be asked, and of course accepted. Bloomtown was a little different because I got to meet Allie. So I met Allie very shortly after she had published ebook and her physical copies or print copies, and then we got a chance to meet in Provincetown, and then Tacey Cherry and Sterling Sapphic reads, and Isley, as you may know, as Isley Stark Industries were big champions of the book. And so when it came time for she was the audio rights were acquired, and then I was a name that was on the list for consideration. And so, but yeah, we often don't, more often than not, don't pick or like don't get to like, I want this one, give it to me. So it often comes to us, or so much of my work. Again, just so grateful to this community, and so many authors are here that I have worked with. So thank you for being here, and thank you for trusting me with your extraordinary work. A lot of it is relationship based as well. Like people, we meet, we talk, and then their rights get picked up, or we're in the phase of production, and then they'll ask if the producer, the third party who's handling everything, will ask about my availability, and I'm always so deeply honored when a friend is like, "Hi, can we work together?" It means so much to me, and I'm so grateful. This community is incredible, and you all have given me so many wonderful gifts that I can never repay. All right, next question. I already forgot. Wait, how many books do I do a year?
Like on average, what do you think?
On
How many
average,
books?
I think last year I do keep like a production tracking sheet just for my own rotten raccoon brain. That's just I don't even know what's going on up there. It's like tumbleweeds that are being, thrown around by raccoons. I think last year I was at like 62 62 books. Not all of them are full length though. Some of them are multicast, some of them I only have half of. So yeah, I would say probably, anywhere from 55 to 65 books. So yeah, and I mean, I know narrators who do like hundreds, and I'm like, how? I'm already not sleeping. If you know me, when you talk to me online, I'm like, la la la, it's 3 a.m. and I'm writing you back, and you're probably like, is this woman well? No. So yeah, so I don't know how they do that, but they are better than I am. I don't know. It's crazy over here. I already forget the last question. Jamie, forgive me.
Forget the last question. It was that's a great question because I don't remember either, but I did have one that came in my brain because ADD.
Yes.
And I'm up most of the time too. So when I catch them late, I'm like, oh, somebody else is awake. That's
yeah,
cool.
That'll be me.
One of the things was, is there any subject matter that you wouldn't want to narrate or that you say no to? Yeah.
Yes, that. And now I remember the other question is genre, like preferred genre. I mean, always Sapphic romance, always. Honestly, at this point, like Quinn pays all my bills. So thanks, Quinn. I love horror. I specifically love queer horror because I feel like it is subversive in a way that I personally need to heal my broken heart and sad soul. There are some incredible voices in queer horror that I think are doing remarkable things right now. And I'm very excited to see, like, it is a deeply painful time to be a creator. I don't know how you storytellers are crafting anything right now. I don't have to do anything but say the words out loud with feeling. Even I am struggling. And I do think that we are going to see some like really extraordinary boundary pushing like art that is revelation from our creators right now in this time. So many that I talk to that are close to me are like, I am creating out of spite solely right now. My work is angry, but that's fine. I need, so yeah, in queer horror, I mean, names that come to mind, I mean, top of my list is Haley Piper, who is really, I mean, her writing is wild, but really fun, and just like open your brain and scramble it on the hot pavement and then put it back in kind of experience. And it's not, and a lot of it is body horror. It is gruesome. It can be gruesome, but I love what she creates. I mean, CJ Lead is another name that comes to mind. I'm so lucky. I mean, one of my favorite projects of all time was an author's debut, Marcus Cleaver, and he is a, queer man. And he wrote We Used to Live Here, which is the scariest book I've ever narrated in my life. I had to record part of it with my mom on the phone with me because I was like, it's coming to get me. What the hell? So I'm on to do his next book, which I'm super excited. I don't even know. I haven't started prepping it yet. I don't know if it's still the same world, but it's, yeah, I think with Natalie C. Parker also has written a couple of horror books. But yeah, I love that genre because I think that we are able to exercise a lot of, I mean, both exercise our minds and also exorcise like demons. A lot of emotional trauma, and just I don't know. I will forever be a diehard horror fan. Can't watch those movies. But I can read those books and hopefully make you wear diapers because I scared you shitless. So yeah. Now I forgot your question, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Is there any?
I won't do. No, No conservative anything. No conservative anything. No alt-right, nothing, none, no Republican anything. I also am 10 toes down, will not do dubcon, or otherwise known as dubious consent. I don't want to do work that my early in my romance journey when Quinn was born, I did a lot of, and I do want to preface this, like, I never want to yuck anyone's yum. I think I started in male female mafia romance, and I do think that the mafia genre is a very safe and a safe space to kind of explore some of your own darkness, right? Or themes and things that you would never do in your daily life. But there was a lot of like buying 19-year-old girls by 42-year-old men and locking them in the basement. And then, Stockholm syndrome and abusing them until they loved you. And I was like, am I allowed to swear on this? No, probably not YouTube. My gay ass can't take this anymore. No, what is wrong? Do we need to do a wellness check? Is everyone okay? So for me, I'm like, enough. I mean, I would prefer, and again, never to yuck anyone's yum. But I just, that kind of work like really hurts my heart. It's hard for me to do. It makes the process like long and painful for me. And so yeah, that's, or like, obviously carte blanche, like nothing with any sort of child abuse. Like there is a corner of romance that is a very, very deep, dark corner that no one talks about. I don't know who's producing it. And I had just heard titterings from colleagues and friends who are also, romance narrators, that like we're moving into like slightly close to like incest porn romance. And I'm like, oh no, we are not doing that. Yeah, never. And friends are like, I realized like this was her dad, and like now she's 25 and he's 50. And she's like, I'm not doing this ever. And I was like, yeah, no, I will yuck that yum. I will yuck that one, because I'm just like,
agreed.
Yeah. So it can get pretty dark. There is some stuff that is tough. And for me, I'm like, give me the sweet Sapphics. Give me Sapphic mafia romance. Give me Persephone Black, but this,
love
no
her
thanks.
work.
Oh, she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, on the topic of scary things, Maria asked a question. Do you think narrators will ever be completely replaced by AI? We all think definitely not. What's your thoughts?
I think a lot of the work will be replaced. Yeah. I mean, I do, I don't have a crystal ball. I worked with a director, like, I don't know, it was the end of last year, and we're on a series together. And I got to work with him again this December. And I remember last December, he was like, yeah, we got about like 6-7 years left before we'll be fully replaced. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I thought we had like a decade or something. I don't know. Okay. I do think, I do think it's easier to use a replica or synthetic voice or whatever garbage bot you want to call it for nonfiction. I do worry about like my colleagues who, I don't do nonfiction. I don't think anybody ever wants to hear this voice do anything like narrate anything about an authority on a topic. Like, I don't think my voice lends itself to like, please listen to me teach you about something. They're like, who is this child, and get her out of here. But I am seeing like more and more nonfiction being published with synthetic replicas, that garbage. We are, again, just in a crumbling, failing capitalist system. I would love to see like our representing bodies. I know this is going to live on YouTube, like, and they're working very, very hard to establish some guardrails for us, but we need federal backing. Like, we need the copyright law. I cannot protect I cannot protect my likeness. My likeness is my voice. There is no recourse if someone wants to steal it and rip it and have it be, you know, some character for hire on their website. Like, I can't legally go after them. I can't find out who they are, because I can't even license my likeness, because our copyright laws were written in like the late 1990s, back in the 1900s. And so we, you know, but I also just think that, I hope desperately that the pendulum will shift so far to like human made work in all realms of industry. I'm not even talking creatively, because I mean, full stop. I don't want bots making my art. I have no interest in that. I also know that so many people are being forced to use AI in their industries or lose their jobs. And the market in America is garbage, and it's so impossible to find work. So I also think that there is value in what it can do for medical advancement, but no one is regulating it at all. And that is the danger. But I do think that the pendulum will shift dramatically. And I wonder if in the future, you know, human told stories will be seen as like a bespoke, coveted thing, and there will be demand for it. I mean, again, like, y'all drive, I think, what is acceptable for the industry. Like, the CEOs and executives don't want to hear from us. They don't care. They don't want to hear from our representing body either. They're going to do whatever they want. They are going to look at the metrics and see what is selling, and they're going to follow that. And I really do think that readers have so much power to, I mean, you all have shifted truly. I mean, I don't know this for certain, but I do think that you all are responsible for why the performances of audiobooks have changed in the last like 7 to 8 years. And that you are wanting, you know, immersive storytelling with character voices and emotion. There is such an intimacy to audio that is not really replicated in any other creative performing arts, I find. So yeah, I am afraid of what it, I mean, I'm afraid of what it means for TV and film, and, you know, with streamers and CEOs merging and less being produced, or so much being canceled that is successful or, you know, has a wide audience. It's disheartening. But I also think that we outnumber them by like millions. And our purchasing power has weight. So yeah, I mean, I do think that it's coming, and I do think that we're already seeing like synthetic voices popping up, and you know, and oh, I paid the narrator, and it's like, well, we still have to like insert breaths to make it more human. Like, just pay a narrator. Like, I fully understand that audio is incredibly expensive to produce. But yeah, I hope it continues, like the AI voices and stuff continue to just be bad, because I mean, I would never want to hear a bot do a intimate scene, or even like a scary thriller. They don't get context or subtext or sarcasm or you know, burying the lead that the murderer has been here the entire time since scene one, and actually he's the investigator, and then we have the big reveal in the final chapter that it was him the whole time. Like, no bot is going to be able to get that and deliver that. So I'm like, just continue to be bad. But yeah, it's definitely a tough landscape.
It really is. And I think all of us can agree that, as Jade said earlier, you bring the joy. And we have a request in particular for some joy, specifically that you can give us. You are an amazing singer as well. Would you
My
give
God.
us a little ditty while on here?
Oh, I hate this. Oh God. Oh, I'm sweating so badly. Oh God. Oh, you guys, you got me. You got me. Good. Because I hate this. Yeah, like, is there anything on the table that you wouldn't do? And now I know what it is. Um,
Sing on Zoom. Okay.
I know, sing on Zoom. I mean, I did just sing a funeral this morning, so I'm like somewhat warmed up. But sorry, that sounded bleak. For those who don't know, they're like, I'm sorry for your loss. Why are you so happy? I am a cantor, so my gay ass takes money from my church, and I sing every Sunday, and it's lovely. Can we sing something together? Is that like the lamest cop out ever? Like, can we all like unmute and then sing? I don't know. No.
That would be a nightmare, Quinn. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah,
And
like
Jenny
chaos.
Graham is the one asking for this one. So
You?
she's like, can you just sing? She said, can you just sing her a little ditty?
Oh my
If you
God.
really don't want to, we don't have to. We can go
Oh,
to the next.
I mean, I'm so, I
No
love,
is a complete answer.
oh no.
Exactly.
Do exist on YouTube if someone did find me. I hate to disappoint people. I hate saying, oh,
Oh, I think it's fine.
okay.
I think it's good. I think people who really want to hear you sing will go to YouTube after this and
Yes.
just,
Yeah, we'll find it and we'll link it if they
Yes,
really
it's under
want to
it's
find
under
it.
my government name. So you can
Yes.
find it there. There's some sorry to disappoint folks. It's like one of that.
You're-
No, it's a full
You are
sentence.
fine. We don't want you
are
uncomfortable.
good. You are fine.
It triggers something like my mom. I love her. I love my mother, but she would always be like, "Go on the street corner and sing, you monkey." And then I was like, "Oh no, I'm not warmed up, and this is good, and I'm going to sound like shit." And then she's like, "Well, you're never going to be famous." And so it's like it's a real
oh, we've opened up a trauma.
I
Oh,
know.
God.
Let's close it. Closing the door.
Close
We're
it,
closing
close
the
it,
door
close
now.
it. Let's go, let's go.
Closing that door.
Let's go back to fun
Close the
stuff.
door.
love my mom, but anyone who has ever played an instrument or has ever sung probably who has parents
Yeah.
who love them very hard has had the experience of like, well, now it's time to do the concert for the family for Christmas, and you're like, great, I just wanted to drink a Coke and sit in the corner with my new socks, but
And now I'll die. Thank you.
yeah.
Great. Okay, I'm mindful of the time because we've been going for an hour already. For anyone who has other plans, it's okay if you just cop out and just say thank you for being here. Quinn, do you have like, I don't know, 5 more minutes to answer a few more?
You are all that I have on my afternoon schedule, so I am good to yap for as long as you want.
Okay, well, we still have to do the YouTube stuff also
Yes.
later, so let's see. Jay, did you have a question?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I am curious about like the health of your voice. I know like you listed how many you're doing in a year. And it also sounds like you're a singer, which I will be looking up on YouTube. But I'm just wondering like what goes into kind of prepping your voice. You know, you said something about being warmed up, but are there specific things that you do like consistently to keep your voice ready? I'm just curious what that looks like from a health and maintenance perspective.
Absolutely. So I as some of you may know, I went to conservatory to be an opera singer, and that went really well. No, so I did my undergrad, master's, and artist diploma in voice, and so for the longest time, my family when and then I did musical theater for a bit, but I actually am very, very grateful to my training because it has afforded me a facility with accents that I wouldn't otherwise and language that I wouldn't otherwise have. It really taught me to know my voice and know what I need to do. I also actually I played soccer for 12 years and I was the captain of my traveling team. Yeah. And just screamed my face off And so I don't know if I had them when I entered school as an undergrad or if it was something that developed, and I had been singing also my entire life. Grew up in church choirs alongside my mom and grandpa and sister. Took voice lessons, but I had some pretty serious vocal fold injuries when I was in school. Nodules, which is every singer's nightmare. Then I had a vocal fold hemorrhage during my master's, and then I actually ended up having to have surgery. And then it went really badly. So I had to take a year off from school. I was between my master's and artist diploma. My conservatory actually gave me a year-long leave of absence to recover. They don't know why things happened the way that they did. I mean, the surgery was successful, but the recovery was very fraught. I developed keloid scars on my vocal folds. I mean, I was told I would never sing or speak properly again. Had to go and work with a specialist in Philadelphia that I drove to for, every month for, I don't know, I think 10 consecutive months. So I know a lot about like my functioning and what I need to do. So warming up is super important. Monitoring my rest is super important. I have exercises that I do when I'm feeling fatigued. Singing also really helps me stay super strong. That's one of the reasons why I keep my church job, because it keeps me in shape, and it also like pays me to sing, which is nice. Hydration, of course, is a no-brainer, but is super, super imperative for me. I've also noticed, electrolytes help me stay fresher longer, especially in longer recording sessions. I do a lot of steaming at night as kind of like a right before bed to sort of reset. When you use hot steam, you shouldn't speak for a few hours after that, because it makes your vocal cords like really soft, and so you're more prone to injury. I nebulize a lot, which is like a cool saline spray, which is fine to like talk with. You'll see like Broadway singers with their little nebulizers or their masks or something. It's just a very, very quick way to hydrate the vocal cords, because when you drink, you like, even if it's cold water, like nothing ever touches your vocal folds unless you're aspirating something, which you don't want that to happen. So inhaling steam and things like that is like an instant moisturizer, even though I don't love that word, but yeah, so it's I do, I have to be super, super diligent about my vocal hygiene, just because if I get injured again and we have to like surgically intervene, I don't know that, your vocal cords are so small and so delicate and so easy to damage. You are resilient. I do worry that if I had to go in for another surgery, not only would it be extraordinarily expensive, but also I just wouldn't be the same. So yeah, vocal health is something that I take very, very seriously, and sometimes like really push too hard and then pay for it. Like I had to push super, super hard to finish some deadlines before taking a break for the holidays to be with my family, and like couldn't really talk very well for a couple of days. And I'm like, oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that again.
Yeah.
Hormones are a big thing too. Like, as a cis woman, like and I'm getting older, like that changes the way things function. And that's okay. Like to my advantage, like my Ice Queen voice is getting lower and lower every year. And I love her. At the piano. So if I'm like singing high, then like I can't access like those lower tones for narration. And so I'm like, oh, everything is just like bottoming out and I'm cracking like a teenage boy. And but yeah.
That's
So
really intense.
what happens if you have like a nose cold or something?
Oh God. I mean, I've recorded some projects through a cold because there just wasn't time. I hate when we have to do that, but sometimes we do when there's no give in the deadline, or it's a hard, like, we got to get these files by this time, or we're not going to be able to pub on time. And so you just do the best you can. You just hydrate as much as you can. Like I go into overdrive. I have this syrup. Actually, I was afraid I wasn't gonna be able to get it anymore because Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande talked about drinking it. Well,
Oh no.
I'm gonna butcher how you say it, but it's like it comes in a little in a little bottle, and it's like a menthol cherry like herbal syrup that you add to hot water. That is like Cynthia was like, I love it. It makes me sound like a flute, and so it helps a lot. But yeah, just it's miserable to record a book when you're sick. It's just it feels like I don't know, having to act and somebody just put me in a straitjacket. Like like I don't have all of the tools and like breadth of voices and techniques that I normally have. But sometimes it's just we don't have a choice. It's either be replaced, which they often can't do because no one preps the script, right? And so it also doesn't do a service to the material. And we just have to power through. And it's my least favorite. And I have more sick anxiety than I ever did as a singer because I could say, like, I was like, ooh, I'm really mucusy. Sorry, this is disgusting. But you know, when I was an opera singer, or even, you know, I was kind of like a golden age style musical theater singer. So like high notes and crazy divas throwing fits and then leaving the stage. But you know, I would feel all of
Is
like
that on YouTube?
I don't no one has ever been able to record any of my productions that I'm in because of copyright issues. But yeah, there's some kooky stuff, and maybe I'll like people have asked a lot. Oh, yes, yes, that's an audition. Oh, that hair. What a time. The blush was really but yes, you found that's an audition clip from many, many years ago. But you know, when I was singing, I was like, oh, good, I have like all of this mucus to like focus my sound in my like in my mask and like sing through it. But those microphones are unforgiving. And so you can hear it. You can hear it immediately. And I'm sure y'all as audio lovers have heard like when we sound stuffy or not quite like ourselves, especially if you're super familiar with our work. But yeah, most often than not, it's never our choice. We always want to be well and at 100%.
Yeah. Are you still able to read for pleasure? You mentioned like all the prep work you put in. Yeah, see.
No, my TBR is like a million miles long. And yeah, I was kind of contemplating like, oh, do I want to hire out my prep to kind of make room in my life? I mean, just for my life, but also for things that I enjoy and fun things. And I still, the little control freak in me can't let it go just yet. But I mean, I have so many books from y'all, you know, on my TBR to read. I'm not an audio listener either. Like a lot of people are like, who are you listening to? You must listen to this. And I love my colleagues so much. So many are friends, but it doesn't allow my brain to fully shut off. And not that I'm like, ew, why would they ever read like that? Like I would do it so differently. I love craft so much. And I think we're all so different. I think every single narrator out there is just there. They all have a different kind of sweet spot or a special shimmer to them. And I've always been obsessed with storytelling and storytellers, and I've always been obsessed with books. I mean, they were like my only companions as a weird little closeted kid growing up. And authors are my superheroes, and I just get so wrapped up in like how they deliver or like how they embody something that I like my brain will just like focus on that and nerd out about that forever. And then I'm like, what's happening? Oh no, I have to like rewind like 2 minutes because I was like, wow, I would have never dreamt of saying it that way. Or like now I'm crying and like, oh, but this person is so good. And so it still feels like a little, I can't fully shut off my brain. So I watch a lot of drag queen content, and that is what I do for like for brain fun. I don't know. I love Trixie Mattea. I will watch anything that they create. I love all the drag queen review podcasts and shows and stuff, Drag Race and Dragula. And so yeah, that's what I do.
Very nice. That makes a lot of sense. I know we've
Yeah.
got a couple more questions. Who's next?
I've got one. I've got kind of a similar one, so we're gonna mush it together. Um, Tracy asked, what characters that you've done have you found hard of letting go of?
Oh man. Well, Abby Proctor and Joey Taylor. I love Bloomtown so much. I would love it even if I hadn't narrated it. I just think it came into my life, came into our collective lives at a really prescient time. There is just something like feral and affirming and healing and as someone who grew up in the church and did not have a good experience as a young person, thinking I was going to just go to hell for being gay and kissing a girl. And then Abby's journey through that. And then also, Joey being so self-assured and like this larger than life character, but still there's such a quiet strength to her. She is so outside of who I am as a person. She's kind of like an idealized version of the way I wish I could be, like no is a full sentence, she's so much stronger than I am. And I don't know. I remember prepping that book on the train into DC for a family member's retirement ceremony from the Navy right before like the big Marine birthday party or something, like whatever we're calling that, party for our great leader. And like pulling into DC and just like reading Exodus and weeping because we have come so far and yet we haven't, right? And I just think, and she also gives us, an ending that I think we all wish that we could have, or, a community and that idealized ending that is like, I want to live in that. I want to live in that space, in that world with all of the people that I love. So many are like right here. I'm like, let's just make a community and like, screw this place. Like, let's go live together. We'll each have our own little houses, it'll be fine. We'll have our own space, but then we'll like do singing circle. I'll sing for you then. I'll lead the singing circle in the middle of the, at night after dinner around the campfire. Okay. But that book will stay in my heart and in my bones for probably the rest of my life. I also, the Grace Notes series is forever embedded in my DNA. I recorded that. Each book came at a different time. So I recorded A Falls from Grace right before the election, full of lots of hope. And like, it's going to be great. Recorded Graceless, like very shortly after the election. So all of like Cassidy's family stuff with Lane, like really hit hard. And then Coral's like call to action and quiet like resistance and wisdom, like really, really hit. And then Saving Graces, I recorded, right after inauguration. So that final scene in the book, and I don't want to spoil anything, but, when Coral talks about like, we get through this by fighting for the whole family, just really is etched on my heart forever. Those books are so deeply embedded in my pain, processing that, and also the hope for the future. So those are, and Stars Collide too is something like, I feel like Stars Collide also alongside Mistakes Were Made, where it was another book that kind of brought me to you. And I consider myself a late bloomer. So I've been gay my whole life. I knew it when I kissed Abby Morton when I was like playing house when I was a kid. But then I was like in the closet for a long time, really hating myself, really struggling with my queerness and trying to conform and keep my, I was so terrified of losing every single person that I loved if I was myself. So I did not come out until I was 30, because I fell in love with my stage manager when I was working in Wisconsin. And that ended badly, but I'm grateful to her for like helping me find myself. So any sort of coming out story, especially for someone who is later in their life and their journey, is really, really, really special to me. Because I feel like I have lived experience of like repression and self-hate and really struggling with a lot of darkness, and then coming out on the other side, and like I have a life that I wish I could show, like the 12-year-old version of me. Like I get to tell the stories that I wish existed when I was a kid, and I also will always stand so firmly on the fact that like our literature is so important, and it is so important to fight for it in even small ways like requesting queer books at your local library and asking them to carry them, and keep being persistent about it, and making sure that those stories are accessible in the faces of these bigots that want to ban us, and especially our trans siblings and gender nonconforming siblings. Like our stories save lives. I wish that I could go back and relive my life with love and acceptance, and knowing that I was not alone. I wonder where I would be. I wonder who I would be. I wonder what my life would look like. And, it's just you authors in this space, you storytellers in this space, like you are our hope and our beacons for getting through this. And we take care of each other, and we love each other, and we keep fighting, and we keep being visible in any way that we can. Some of us can't be super visible, but we exist, and we show up for each other, and we will not be silenced, and we will not stop telling our stories.
Amen. Okay.
Thank you.
And another thing we
On
won't
that
stop.
note.
Yeah. Another thing we won't stop doing is dancing.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Always dancing.
Always dancing. So before the con and GCLS, we had a little thing on Instagram about you leading what was it, Sweaty Witch convent of dancers. So how many people are in the convent right now already?
I mean, all of you. I mean, do you want to join me and be just the sweatiest version of you ever? I have a video.
Yes.
That Lori Prince of her just panning the room of everybody dancing, like, ooh, fun content for Instagram. And then she saw me dancing with Luke Dreamer and was like, oh my God. And poor Luke, like Luke is I'm so excited to see him be one of our MCs alongside Georgia Beers for the Goldies. But Luke is such a dear, wonderful person who always like is yes and to everything. But I'm looking at my face and I look like some kind of, I don't even know, crazy beast, feral. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm unhinging my jaw. I'm flapping and I'm like, oh my God, my hair is completely soaked. But we have a fun time. I know that's not a very good, I don't know, for joining the Bog Witch Coven, sweaty swamp monster from hell coven, but we do have a good time, and you will be sore the next day. So
it's sweat and joy. It's
sweat and joy.
Yeah.
Sweat and joy.
I love a wiggle. It's not pretty. It's not syncopated really to the music. I'm not a good dancer. I will dance until the DJ shuts down the dance floor.
And yeah, we've noticed that multiple times. It's great. Okay, I think we have to
wrap it.
Wrap it up. We have started this whole lovely conversation with a giveaway. And I have still my magic needle number. And I'm very disappointed in anyone not seeing the little hint I gave. Because I did say somewhere between, does anyone see it now?
I didn't even see it. Am I missing it?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
The word of the year, 2025.
If you're a youth.
Is it close to 20?
Is it close to 20?
6,
7. Anyways.
But I don't understand. I have youths in my life. My niece and nephew are young. Yeah. I'm like,
me neither, but it is so ingrained. Yeah.
It's
It
very,
is,
it's
what does
very
it mean?
parasite.
Nothing. That's the whole thing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't
Anyways,
get it.
nobody got it, so we're all old here. It's fine. It's fine. We've just established that it's good. We're out of it. But Kayla B came closest with 58. So
Hey.
Kayla B is the winner today. Kayla, if you would please send us an email at Sapphic World Book Club at gmail.com, so we can connect you with Quinn and you can sort out which title you'd like to pick.
Yeah,
Okay.
so excited.
Yay! Yay for
It's
Kayla. Um, and to wrap this up, like the whole make it a little bow, little package is what's next for you, Quinn?
Oh gosh, lots of recording. I'm primarily indie, so I'm working directly with authors. I mean, that's just how it kind of shook out for this year for me, at least so far. So recording a lot of projects. Very excited about that. I'm working with Adrian J. Smith again, and Shay Paris, and Cass Morgan, and so doing some horror stuff too. So very, very excited. I'm going to read out. So I think some of you I will see there. So I'm so pumped about that. It's a really magical experience. And our organizers do such a beautiful job of getting such meaningful, programming and cool events. And it's become one of my favorite things. Yeah, and just looking forward to, I mean, it feels like the next GCLS is like so far away, but it'll be here before we know it. So I hope to be able to see a lot of you there as well, if you can make it down to Orlando. I know that it'll have a lot of meaning to have us there, all of our gay asses in Florida. So yeah, just lots of recording. I also have a Patreon with JJ Arias, which fills my cup so much. Our community is incredible. I love what we do over there and the discussions we have. So looking forward to trying to get some good content out for this year as well. And yeah, just holding on to the next time that we get to be together. For me, and in this work, being so isolated and alone a lot, like the times that we are able to be together in person, in community, like really do carry me to the next time that we get to be together. It just has so much meaning to be able to connect with you and share stories and hug you and talk to you and get sweaty dancing with you. And yeah, so that's what's going on with me. And thank you so much. It really means a lot to be asked to be here and share space with you. What you do is so special and vital to the Sapphic book world and our community at large. And you all are just really extraordinary people. And everyone here present, I mean, thank you for taking your Saturday afternoon or evening or wherever you be in the world to listen to me yap your ear off. You mean the world to me. So thank you.
And thank you. And thank you for everyone being here present with us and asking all the marvelous questions and
It was so
all of that here at the Sapphic World Book Club. Our next book club will be in February on the 28th. And it will be for a book. So we'll go back to our normal structure and we will be hosting Pip Lenderstedt. Yes, it's going to be so much fun. And we're going to be talking about her last book, Pig. I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
yes, like Pygmalion. Yes, it's like
Pygmalion, right.
yeah.
Yay, yay, yay. So
Yeah.
that's it. So write on your calendars, February 28th, and read that book already. Okay. Thank you all and hope to see
Thank
you
you,
next month.
Have a
everyone.
great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.